The scripture this reading is from Psalm 98, verses 4 through 6, and you're invited to follow along in your bulletins if you'd like. The psalmist invites us to make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and the sound of melody, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a joyful noise before the King, the Lord.
I was 12 years old, 6th grade, the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center in Orlando, competing in a national linguistics competition. Linguistics is an academic game that is sort of a cross between Scrabble and a spelling bee, grammar and punctuation included. And on that afternoon, I won. But it was not without controversy. You see, I won using a Z, a lot of points, the word Zamboni. Was so excited to win, but the young woman who I was playing against challenging me decided that she would appeal to the judges. For the word Zamboni, as you well know, a Zamboni is the machine that properly wettens and cleans an ice skating rink in between periods of a hockey game. She argued that it was a proper noun, and she's right, it is a company name. But I argued back to the judges that much like the word Xerox or Band-Aid or ketchup, that word has become so entrenched in the English language that you don't have to capitalize it. I also argued that there was no synonym for that machine that we could use, and the judges began to confer and actually conferred for 15 minutes. Finally, yes, they decided in my favor. I won on the word Zamboni. You might say that story illumines a certain trajectory about my life. For I went on and I was an English major in college, and I have selected a vocation where I use words. Words to communicate, words to write, words to preach, words to teach. And so when Dr. Becky asked me on Music Gift Fund Sunday to share back with the congregation where music fits into my spiritual life, I sensed a certain mysterious irony in my response to that question. The irony is, I am a person who uses words. And for me, when it comes to my own spiritual life, you know where music fits in? Music connects me with a God beyond Zamboni. Music opens my heart and mind to the God that I frequently talk with you about Sunday after Sunday in front of this table, ascribing words to, yet I realize that in all of my own words, I cannot touch the power and glory of a God who is beyond any word I might use to describe God. I remember some years ago hearing a lecture about this in the context of planning and preparing worship services. And the lecture was from Dr. James Howell, who is currently the minister at Myers Park United Methodist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he's written numerous books, including books on worship. And he was talking about the role and purpose of worship music within a worship service and all of the roles. And the one that really connected with Mr. Zamboni was this idea that truly there are things that you cannot say about God in words. And he likened it using an illustration that I will not soon forget. I think it's a powerful one. It's an illustration about the Academy Award-winning movie, The Shawshank Redemption. Do you all remember that movie? It starred Tim Robbins playing the prisoner Andy Dufresne. And there is a moment in that film where Andy Dufresne sneaks into the warden's office at the prison and locks the door behind him so that the warden can't come in. He then takes an Italian opera record and plays it over the loudspeaker of the prison yard. Did any of the prisoners know the Italian words that were being sung? No, they didn't. But they stopped in their tracks and they looked up into the sky as though there was a presence, capital P, beyond those walls, beyond their hurt, beyond their pain. A God beyond Zamboni, a God beyond any words we might use to ascribe to God. It often gets said that when we confront challenges in our lives, we confront them in direct proportion to the size of the God in which we believe. If we endure a world where there are so many problems and so many challenges, if our God is small, what hope do we have? Not much. But in our world with great big problems, from Guatemala to Maine, from Russia to Ukraine to the Middle East, if the God in whom we believe is beyond words, what hope do we have? We have hope and we have strength that is indeed glorious. One of the key reasons why my family supports the Music Gift Fund here at NUCC is exactly for that reason. To note that I talk about a God in worship Sunday after Sunday that I cannot fully describe, because God is just that loving, God is just that glorious and so grace-filled. I am beyond words. Part of what I appreciate about the music program here at the church also is the way in which it has in recent months impacted my own children. As Shar mentioned just a few moments ago, Dr. Becky has a big heart for young people, not just the young people, the college-age students in our choir, but all young people, including my 8-year-old daughter, who one day at Wacky Wednesday brought with her her cello, and she began to play the cello, and it didn't go so well. Probably because of Dad. In third grade, I traded in my violin for a baseball bat, and that was it. And there she was attempting to play the cello. It wasn't going real well, and Dr. Becky caught this on her phone. She filmed it, and she asked Dr. Sasha to come and play something behind my daughter on the piano. And what they captured on video was truly remarkable, beyond words. That event reminded me of a favorite music story that is often told in various different music circles, and it's a good one. It's the story of the famous Polish pianist, Ignace Paderewski. And one evening, this world-renowned pianist was in a music concert hall in New York City. Very formal occasion, many dressed in tuxedos, high-priced tickets for the event. And there was out in the audience a mother who wanted to get her son a little bit more into music and playing the piano and taking his piano lessons seriously. So she brought him with her, and she was talking to the person sitting next to her before the concert was to begin, and son decided to sneak away. Ran up to the front of the concert hall, and on the very expensive grand piano in front of the entire audience began to bang on the piano playing chopsticks. The murmurs in the crowd were just awful. Get that kid out of here. I paid money for this. I can't believe he's playing chopsticks on that instrument. But word got to Paderewski, who was backstage, and he was hearing what was going on. And he immediately put down his makeup, and he ran onto the stage, and he sat down on the piano bench behind the young boy and began to accompany him, that chopsticks, with an awe-inspiring melody. And the entire audience was awestruck in that moment. Truth be told, in all of my humility and in all of my humanity, when talking about God, there are days in which I cannot even come close, as though my words are chopsticks. But on those days, I have hope, I have support, and I have strength, because there is something behind me.